I mean, I like stories that make stuff up too, but the truth has the advantage of actually being true.
Hello, I'm Swamina.
Hello, I'm John. This is Sue.
Hello there.
Hello. Yeah, that's for you. Good on the plane? Yeah, good?
Sue,
This is
Mummy, and
Dad.
Lion tells the true story of a young child, I think 5 years old, who was lost in India and found himself several miles away from home, ended up getting adopted by a couple in Austria, and what happens when he decides to try to find his way home. It's exceptionally moving and incredible, but is it something you'll want to watch? Here's 5 things you might want to know about Lion. I loved this movie. Surprised, in fact, by how much I enjoyed this movie. Let's start with the cast, because I think they're a crucial part of why I enjoyed it so much. They're really good. Not only that, they're very generous. This is one of those ensemble casts who you can tell don't mind letting somebody else have the spotlight for a second or steal the scene. Nicole Kidman is in there. She's great. Dev Patel is doing some really incredible work here. I think it's the best work I've seen from him. And this little kid who plays the 5-year-old in India, I thought was really adorable and yet believable as this kid. All of that together builds a story that you just find yourself invested in because you believe it's real. Of course, the other reason you find yourself connected is because it's a true story. And I know movies change things here or there, but the basic foundations of this are true. And there's just something about watching a story, knowing it happened in real life in much the same way. There's just an added depth there, an added energy there, an added strength there because you know it's a true story. And I think the emotion benefits from that as well. It allows you to connect naturally to the truth of the situation. So you don't have to have it forced on you. You just have that emotion come because you believe it, because you know it happened. And speaking of having it forced on you, I think the movie deserves a lot of credit for toning back the melodrama. Sometimes you'll see a true story and they still do try to overemphasize a lot of the emotion, a lot of the scenes. This movie seems completely devoid of melodrama. I don't think it needs it. And I think it's very smart that they would take a look at their story, go, you know what, we don't need to go to the extreme on this because the story itself is moving. I think that's even more powerful to me, to just see it right there on the screen and to live through it in that way. You don't have to hold my hand and pull me through. I'm coming with you. Another thing I feel like I have to mention in this movie is how well shot it is. It is absolutely gorgeous. Very beautiful. And what's interesting is that it's gorgeous in the destitution. India, in the poverty of that area and that this kid went through, is in many ways depressing or dark, and yet this movie finds a way for you to really respect this place as beautiful in its own way and what it is. I think that's difficult. I think that's a hard trick to pull off, but the movie does it very well. So you always feel connected to the beauty of the situation, the beauty of every culture, every environment. That's a big deal. I honestly don't have a lot negative to say about the movie. I thought it was really, really good. I guess the one warning I will give will just make it a yellow. You may need some tissues. Some people don't like that. Some people don't want to go into a movie where you may cry. By the end of this movie, I was bawling in a way I haven't bawled in a long time at a movie. Now, I'm not going to give away whether that's, joy or sadness or tragedy or exuberation. The fact is, tears came, and I want you to be aware of that. And maybe it's just because I'm a parent, and I think any parent watching this situation with a lost child is going to connect to it in a little bit of a deeper way. Overall, though, Lion, whether you're a parent or not, is an emotional, strong story. I really enjoyed it. I think you might too. I gave it an A. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, if you want to connect, I would love to. You can do that on YouTube through comments or subscribing. If you click the button up here, you'll see other videos you can go to, how to connect with me, also how to support the channel. Also, if you want to connect on Twitter, that's a great place. I do a lot of pop culture conversation on Twitter. My name is Aaron Dicer, so it's just at Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. You can find me on other social media with that name as well. And then the podcast. If you do the podcast thing, feel free to subscribe. It's called SiftPop, SiftPop, and it's a weekly podcast. We have a lot of fun doing that. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where we name the best movie ever in a particular category. You try to guess mine through a clue. We're going to do best ever movie that centers around the country of India. You can stretch that a little bit if you need to, but I think there are a few that could fall into the wonderful category. In fact, the clue for mine is it's the one that centers around a tiger. That's maybe one of the worst clues I've ever gotten. Very simple, but go ahead and take a guess at it in the comments. If you get it right and you're the first one to do so, you will get a point. As always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click the logo right down in this corner. Centers around a tiger.